Boom, guys. We in here going hard in the paint, baby. Alabama basketball. Them boys been hooping good. JT, host here tonight, guys. If you're here watching us, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel right here. If you're over on Twitter X, make sure you come over to the YouTube channel. Welcome in. We got a wonderful host. I mean, I'm the wonderful host. I just said that. Right. I'm the wonderful host.
Wow.
And I have some wonderful panelists.
I wake up in the morning and I piss excellence. And I'm here to shower y'all with it.
Baby. I'm here, baby. So we got both man Herb with us tonight.
I don't know how we follow that. Daniel, how are you doing, buddy? You good? I mean,
I'm just a subpar co-host here, buddy.
Yes.
Of excellence.
Yes. I'm just the fill-in. So.
Oh man, what do you say? The Kmart JB?
The Kmart JB is in the house. The subpar co-host. Wonderful host who talks about himself in the third.
We got Kat in here. The guys from way offside. How you guys doing? I think it's Jeff, man. How you doing, brother, man? Shout out to you guys and what y'all got going on over there.
What's up?
But hey, guys, welcome in. We got a great show for you guys. It's JT's world. We're just no, bro. It ain't like that, homie. It ain't like that, homie, at all, bro. We're gonna kick off the show.
He's about to come at all y'all like a spider monkey.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm on the doodle, baby. And I got this mustache, baby, mustache. But before we get it kicked off tonight, Herb, let the people know what they need to have in Coleman Coliseum, swinging around, yelling, roll tide, roll with.
Man, I didn't realize that you were going to kick that promo to me because I don't have a title towel. Come on, you know, right?
Psych.
You already know. Yes, that's showing my age. Psych. Half of you kids probably don't even know what that means. Like, what? Psych?
Psych.
You know the title towel always travels with me. It comes to all the games, man. Whitwell Sports, good folks. Support them as well. Love them as a sponsor. Love them just as folks, man. They've hooked me up in the past when I text them up. But great product, man. Show your support. Title towel, baby.
Title towel, baby. So, guys, got another main sponsor of the show right here, guys. And these guys, I know we say it on every show, but it's a legit thing, guys. And I want Pettey. Pettey does it just so well right here. This link at the bottom after the show goes. Make sure you guys go check them out, though. Pettey, let these people know where they can get some beautiful stone around their house.
Absolutely. Well, you can get it at realrockstone.com, and that's Lamstone Company. Look, we like to go hard in the paint on this show, but nothing goes harder than natural stone on your house. So check out Lamstone at realrockstone.com today. Because if you ever dreamed of having beautiful natural stone in or around your home, well, don't settle for subpar materials. Check out Lamstone Company's selection of natural stone products to meet all your project needs. They're located in Aniana, Alabama, and they're one of the oldest, most trusted sources in the state. So tell them we sent you today by using the promo code TheBamaStandard and receive 10% off your purchase of stone at Lamstone today. Go give them some love, but of course, wait till after the show. But yes, give some love to the people that keep the lights on here.
Just what Pettey said, go after the show, guys. Check them out. If you're in the comments real quick, guys, if you're watching the show, guys, hit the comments up real quick. If you got some questions, we'll double back with that at the back end of the show. We're here to talk about some Alabama basketball, guys. So, like I said, got some comments, hit them real quick. We'll chat about that on the back end of the show. But we're going to kick off tonight. First topic of the night, Alabama versus Oklahoma. On a little bit of a recap, guys. Just before I pass it off to Herb, we'll let Herb kind of start this one here. Alabama had 6 players in double digits. Sears with the double, 22 points, 10 assists. That was awesome. Man, held down that game right there. And it shows you that he was scoring and distributing as well. Bama drops 107 in the first SEC game. That's awesome to see. Also, this team was ranked 13th or 12th or 13th, one of the two. But, top 15 team right here. That's a good win. Herb, give me your breakdown, Alabama versus Oklahoma.
I think it's something you like it when you're kind of right about your breakdown before the game. We said they hadn't really played anybody before this game. We felt like we were kind of the overwhelming talent, and kind of like what Jeff's saying there, man, good atmosphere. I think it was just on us to start strong, and we did. And I think by the 5-minute mark, I felt like, okay, I think we're gonna handle this one. And it just flowed from there. So I felt good about this game from the beginning.
Yeah, and Herb, we spoke about that last week. Actually, we talked about Oklahoma is one of those teams. It looks really good but who have you played yet? And obviously, we said if Bama shows up, we should have no problem in this game. Then we showed up. We had no problem in this game. Pettey, real quick, man, give us your thoughts on Alabama versus Oklahoma. 6 players in double digits scoring. But also that also attributes to Mark Sears having 10 assists. That's like, right now he's getting guys going too.
Sears hit SEC play, which you got to in this league. If you're looking around, it's just landmines everywhere. And Sears came out like riding a bull for 8 seconds. He came out in a flash, like you said, hitting points, being the leader he needs to be for this team. We're talking about national championship caliber team, and that's what they're showing. When Bama puts up 50 in the first half, there's no team in college basketball, much less this tough SEC that can hang with this team. And that's what you saw against Oklahoma. And when you come out of the gate that polished, that's a great sign. But again, it started with the leader in Sears, and then he followed it up the very next night, which I know we're going to talk about that one as well on the road at South Carolina. But it just goes what we, like you said, Herb, you love when your breakdown comes true. I wasn't with y'all to break down that game in particular, but I've said all along, when Bama's guards are scoring, there's nobody in college basketball that can keep up with this team. I mean, putting up 50, there's no team that just has the ability to run like that, Alabama does it. It's a different style. And then look, you look down, and I got to keep giving love to Nelson. Every time you look, that guy, he's one of the most hustling son of a bitches I've ever seen. He is just constantly working from sideline to sideline down low, and it's just, man, it's a team that's together, man. And again, it's I can't say enough about Sears. That guy, he's the one, man. He's going to be the engine that you just hop on board, and he'll lead us there, man.
Yeah, that thing with Nelson, I think we had talked about it before. I just think he likes this role a lot better.
Yeah,
he's like, I don't want to be the second best player on this team, but let me be third or fourth and just kind of play my game and relax. And I think you just see he looks more comfortable. He's always smiling out there, and I don't think he has the pressure that he had last year.
I agree. He doesn't have to. He's not counted on him when you don't have to, man. You play for more free, and you end up putting up the same. Your numbers are just as good. It's just this team.
And I mean, to allude to that, I mean, you're talking about Nelson. He went 5 for 11 from the field, and then the dude turns around and shoots 2 for 5 from the 3 range. We go 9 from 29 from the 3 range, 31%. Still hits 107 points. And this is going to cross-thread me into our next topic, because we're going to transfer. We'll hit these 2 real quick. South Carolina, right here. I'm going to get to that because, like I just alluded to, I just said 31% in the Oklahoma game. Now we'll go to this transfer to South Carolina right here, guys. Alabama versus South Carolina, 42% from the 3 line. And I think when you look at 42% from the 3 line right there, and Bama, then Bama only scores under of 100 was 88. I was thinking a shy under 90. Yeah. So 88 right there. Bama scores 88 points, which is less than that game, and shooting way better from the 3. So I think these are stories within itself, and Pettey spoke about this. And I think it's something that kind of came true in the South Carolina game too. You got to think 20-point road win here. The defense stepped up, I think, bigger in this game. And played good, held them in a good range where Bama felt comfortable. Like I said, we didn't score a hundo, but we kept the game. We kept the game out. The other night, I went to bed. I heard no ESPN. I was like, oh, Auburn's handling Texas. Click, go to bed. I wake up. I look at the score. I'm like, was that 6 points? What was that? Something like that?
It was tight. They're within 3 in that last minute.
What's my man Funny Man say? Struggle win. Because that was one of them, it looked like. I didn't get to watch the whole game, but, Bama handling this South Carolina team's what I'm getting at, though. Tells me Nate Oates has got the guys cooking. We're rolling. The team's doing good. South Carolina couldn't score any bench points. They had 4 points off the bench. Bama had 39 points off the bench. Herb, how do you feel about this? Oh, Pettey, hold on, Pettey. I see you. Go, Pettey. Go real quick.
I'll go quick because Herb will go more insightful. What you said, the bench points. Every night there's somebody that I'm like, damn, I wish I could see him a little more. Sellers was the one against South Carolina. He made a flash or two, and I'm like, man, it's just every night there's a new name that I'm not even thinking of, like Diabate or whatever. But
Didn't
Sellers.
He get the hard hat?
so much depth on this team. And the South Carolina game was more emphasis on that. I'm like, man, we're in league play, and I'm still seeing guys flash that I don't think about going into the game. Sellers was the one that didn't fill up the stat sheet, but when you see him, you're like, man, if he had more time, he probably would.
And to allude to what Herb has said here coming up, and I'm going to let Herb take this over right here, but to what he said about Youngblood, we talked about wanting to get him more minutes before SEC play. And after watching these 2 SEC games, I'm like, hey, Herb, hold up. I think Nate's still going to run with him. I mean, he's out there playing. Looks good. It looks like Nate's going to run the bench more than what I kind of even thought he would. Yeah. Now, this could change game by game, fouls, different things. Like you said, matchups. We're going to talk about that here in a second when we get on these back end of these next games coming up. We'll talk about Pettey. We'll talk about that too. He alluded to something before this about matchups with Bama and the upcoming opponents. But
Cheryl, not Sellers. I don't know why I said Sellers. That's my Cheryl.
Every time you said, I was like, I'm looking at the thing. I'm like, I think that's what he's talking about.
I was talking about. I wanted to correct my. I knew that was wrong. I was like, hey,
he got the hard hat. I'm pretty sure he got the hard hat in the locker room too. If I'm not mistaken, he got the hard hat.
But no, it was Cheryl, and Cheryl was the. Sorry, I wanted to correct. So
no, you're good.
Dumbass on here, but no, he's again just more pointing to the depth of this damn team right now.
Yes, Kat. What Kat said, I love the Hallways playing so much better last year. I do too. I said that last week. I was talking about that last week. But Herb, break this down for us real quick. It's Alabama, South Carolina.
I'm going to hit your Youngblood point real quick because he's still not shooting well. But to Kat's point right here, I think having Holloway come off the bench with him and he can carry the load offensively, I think you're still going to have time to work Youngblood in. But I think this game, it was pretty clear from the beginning. South Carolina was going to be physical and run us off the three-point line. One reason why our efficiency was better, we shot 10 less threes in this game than we did in the previous game.
That is true too. Yeah.
But I thought that's where our guards really came in key, taking smarter three-pointers, pushing the ball, getting to the hoop a little bit more. And I think it was just evident South Carolina could not keep up with that. But they definitely wanted to slow the pace down and just not let us shoot. And we just kind of showed our versatility in that game. Okay, we can also get to the rim, and we don't have to just jack up every three that comes. We can score in a lot of ways. So you look at us only scoring 88 points, and only that's hilarious at this point, right? But we just kind of overwhelmed them, and I think it was kind of evident halfway through that first half, like, okay, they can't keep up with us. Their only hope was for us to not hit well. So, and then Holloway was really efficient off the bench in that one too. So that's one of my guys.
Yeah, Holloway was. And real quick, guys, so that right there, if you got any questions, hit those for us real quick, guys. I'm going to put a button on South Carolina here. Herb, you alluded to a good point that I didn't mention there. I was shooting 10 less threes, and I think that's where the defense kind of, when the defense is playing like it was, which I think they were playing really great, you're not in foul trouble. You're not trying to shoot more shots than you got to, you know what I'm saying? But I want to get Bama, and I don't want it to happen yet because I think it's too early. I think it's too early. But I want us to hit that spurt and just start going. You don't want to do it too early, though, because you peak too early. But you want to start hitting that spurt in about the next month and a half or so, start getting to where we are just shooting. When I'm saying shooting that, where it isn't like we live by it, die by it. But also Pettey, that goes back to what Pettey was saying about having guys off the bench. It's Holloway this night. Next night is Cheryl. Next night it's this random freshman right here, Mallet. He might come off and do some young blood. Has had minutes. Now the points have been down the past two games. I agree with you, Herb. But 23 minutes in the South Carolina game and 20 in the Oklahoma game. He's getting the reps. Now, I think, but like he did, like Oates had said, he did needed to catch up a lot. We are about the point now where it's like, all right, we're caught up, but then we just switched to SEC play. So it just got harder. Yeah. So let's see how that breaks down as we go, guys.
Bama's defense is like Dolly Parton's butt. The offense, the boobs are so nice, nobody notices the butt's really fire too. Bama's defense is absolutely like people don't notice. Oates does put an emphasis. The defense is really good and nasty.
Blue collar.
They're very active, man. You see active feet, active hands.
Yes,
every
the hand
time.
motion.
Yeah.
I like the hand motion because when the ball goes in the lane, you just see hand. You see all this right here. When they start moving in there, which means they're looking for passes. They're trying to move the ball. When you got 6'11" guys and 7-foot guys doing like this, that goes a long way. Okay,
And Oates is after. Was it the South Carolina game he pulled them all for lack of effort, or was that the? Yeah.
I think it was South Carolina. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so real quick, Herb, let the beautiful people that are here right now that may have missed it to start out.
That's yanked the entire starting five right in the second half because they weren't playing. Yeah. Look, as much as we love the fact that we're playing the funnest brand of offense in college basketball right now, don't look past the fact that this man preaches defense, and that's what's going to win this. What's going to win him a title.
Yep, I was just about to say that's what's going to win him a title. That's what's going to win a title.
There's going to be nights you don't shoot well, and you can't just not play any defense. You know? So I'm with you.
If you play good defense on the nights you shoot well, if you play good defense, boom, you're good. You're going to be able to get good rebounds. You're going to be able to push the ball. Let's get it inside. We got 6'11" guys, and we got 7-foot guys. We can hang with anybody down there. So get it inside. Herb, I was going to say to you, one can say that's kind of a flex, yeah. I think Cat was talking. I don't know if that Cat's talking about the dolly thing or not.
I don't think she's talking about the dolly thing. I think she's talking about being able to pull the starting five. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I would like it better if she was talking about the dolly thing because I thought that in my stupid head, I was like, that's a great analogy.
That was funny. No, that was really a good one. Herb, let the beautiful people that may not have been in here know where they can get a title towel if they don't have one, and let them know about it if they don't know what it even is. Let them know real quick.
That's it. You've seen it. That's what you're waving. That's what supports your team. Mine's traveling from football games to basketball games with me. Whitwell Sports is where you can hook it up. But if you forget and you have to get down there on game day, the Bright Museum, also sells them as well. It's a must-have, man. You see me, I'm packing extra ones when I go on the road. And if you see me out at a game, I'm going to have an extra one for the first person to ask.
Herb talking about having them at like games and stuff. Hold my beer, buddy. I had this thing all over the daggum Caribbean last week, baby.
Okay, but that's because you spent our whole travel budget on yourself. So I can't take it to the Caribbean. Look, I'm stuck in my house.
I'm sorry that Bama Standard will not get to make any sporting events for the next year. But
my God. Y'all forgot about that. We let Daniel hold the company card to run the load.
Thank you.
Trip,
I'm riding
and
my
next
bicycle.
thing you know,
but that fried corn sandwich was so good.
This man just flexed on all of us.
Oh, wait till Justin rewatches this.
Man, so we got the greatest host in the world and the guy with the whole travel budget.
Well, it just blew the budget for the year. We're not going to a game. Forget football.
Blew the whole
get that
budget.
Free buffet on the carnival and the kiss on the lips frozen drink.
He didn't bring me back no Mountain Dew from the cruise.
He didn't.
There was no Mountain Dew from overseas that may taste different. I don't even know what that's like.
That's that Mountain Dew they make with the real cocaine.
I know.
So
I'm trying to see what that's like. Y'all trying to get it. I'm trying to host a show and me be a panelist too. Yeah. Let me get one of them. I'll host it and I'll run to the other camera.
Yeah. And I get you some of those South American Mountain Dews. You won't sleep for a week.
I don't know about that. Yeah, my wife.
He blew the whole travel budget and then didn't talk to us for a week and tried to catch up with the whole week's conversation in like an hour.
Text back after 7 days later.
Hey, I'm gonna notes.
Yo, what's up, guys? Sorry, bro. I wasn't gonna be on 3 days. Yeah, bro. Yeah. No, I'm just playing. Yeah. We knew already. I was just trying to see where I'm at. I have a.
You don't want to read that one, but
Kat, what? Yeah,
you don't want to read that one.
What are you talking about, bro?
And we've hooked up Kat a couple times already, so we definitely support that product.
So, all right, guys, we'll move forward real quick. This is our weekly segment here. We started this last week, Pettey, and it's going to be a new thing we do every week. SEC player or names SEC player of the week, Mark Sears, but it's our player of the week here as well, guys. It's a spotlight thing we do here. Yep. The SEC also did too, but it's something that we're gonna it just kind of falls suit what we was gonna do anyways. And then next week, what I want people to do, I want you to come back to this video, guys, after the game Saturday night. Comment on players that you want to see as the player of the week for us. And we are going to look at that, start looking at things, and maybe they become the SEC or the player of the week for us. So, kicking it off real quick, Herb, break down Mark Sears lately, dude. He has been on a terrorist of a run. Last 2 games, 44 points, 16 assists, 7 rebounds. The man is playing lights out right now. SEC, that's the SEC play right now, and SEC's one of the best conferences out there is. Herb, how we feeling about that?
Just so you know, the CBS Sports just released an article, and they were asking people for the NCAA tournament, would you rather take the SEC or the field? That's how well the SEC is playing in basketball right now. Sears, like you just said, averaging 22 points a game the last two, 8 assists, 16 assists to 3 turnovers, shooting well from 3, 5 for 12 from the 3-point line. And we'd mentioned that in the South Carolina game, out of the first 25 points, he scored or assist on 17 of them. He's getting the team off to a good start. It doesn't necessarily just have to come from his shooting. It's also his leadership, his assists. So, I mean, he's just I think we brought this up, before, like, this is the guy you want to get you going, especially going into SEC play. I think he's taken that on. And I honestly also think you kind of look at what's happening to, like, the Tennessees of the world, the Kentuckys of the world when they start SEC play. I think this team realizes it. You cannot start off bad against
Tennessee.
these teams. And I think, taking that on.
Tennessee needs some cream after that one, boy.
It shows what a gauntlet it is on the SEC and why you should cherish every road win, even the ones at South Carolina. But first of all, man, Florida is a beast. They are real damn deal. But, man, not score. What did they have? 24 points with 9 minutes to go in the game?
That was ugly. But Florida's not known for their defense. They're an offensive team. So I was like.
That's true.
Well, and Tennessee's normally known for being more of a Houston-style tank, but they've got a guy at guard that was, leading the league, and he's up there 20 points a game, and they just shut it down. I tell you what, Tennessee, one of the problems with Barnes, man, they'll get in and they'll get to the Sweet 16, Elite 8, but they don't have the offense. And, man, I don't know if that was an early scar for them, or either it's just showing what the SEC is on the road. But good gosh, man, that was woo.
Agreed.
Florida went in dry.
And I think that was one of them. Like I say, Florida went in balling. They had a big mess up there on the back end, and there's a lot of things you can look at when you cross thread that game, that Tennessee Florida game too, with the opening SEC. But at the same time, man, Tennessee, it shocked me. Tennessee shocked me. Like 100% shocked me. I literally was updating my ESPN app like this, but I was like, scroll. This can't be right. I'm like, this can't be right. This can't be right.
But let me give a little gambling advice. Whenever you see a line like that, bet it. Don't look at the numbers beside them. Don't look at anything. Just know that Vegas has a lot of twinkly lights for a reason. I was telling people, Florida went into that game a 2.5-point favorite over the number 1 team in the country after losing on the road to Kentucky. And a lot of people were like, man, how do you bet against number 1? Because Vegas knows stuff. When you get a home team that's favored by 2 or 3 over a higher ranked team, it doesn't hit every time, but I promise if you bet that game every time, 70% of the time, you are going to win that bet. Sorry, just a little bit of gambling advice for those out there. If you want to, that's how gambling works. Gambling, you got to have a little nut sometimes. That is a quintessential take the line.
Agreed.
Definitely take the line. That's definitely some great gambling advice there too. And guys, real quick, if you want, I'm gonna talk to Pettey about this again, man. We're gonna get up, but I'm gonna get on the Monday show with him. And I got some parlays coming up that I've been swinging, looking at. And I'm going to do a super 8-leg soon. And we're going to come on Pettey's show and open and kick. And we're going to have the Degenerate Minute again. And I'm going to come on and throw out some bets for some people, especially natty bets. We might do it on the 20th.
When you want to come on Monday?
Let's go ahead and advertise that. Let's do it on the 20th. Monday. I'm going to be off work. The 20th. When's the 20th? That's Monday? This coming up Monday or the next one?
No, next Monday.
Do the next one because that's the natty. I'm going to do a natty bet. We're going to do a super natty bet on the 20th. We'll do it then because we'll have I'll come on. We'll do that and I'll set something up. So anyway, sorry guys. That's
what happens when you're a super host. You book your own show.
He just booked himself on my show. Don't you love that? When you are, look, we've got the greatest host in the country. Yes. I just set myself up. I'm going to call Dan Patrick. Tell him I'm coming on next week.
Know what? And then Dan Patrick's like, you want to come on this Monday? He's like, no. Next Monday.
No, Dan. I'm going to need and then set your time.
Before we get to the last topic, though, I saw something earlier, and it made me think about it. And this guy, The only time Nick Saban ever did a local interview live, the only time ever, it was a guy named Rick or whatever. He ran up to Saban after they beat Notre Dame and was like, "Hey, Saban, could you come on? We're live in Tuscaloosa and Birmingham." And Nick Saban's agent was like, "Oh, I told you no local, da-da-da-da." And Saban looked over at him. Saban was like, "I'll do it." And Saban got on and did it. So it was like the worst he could have told him was no. So that's my thing right now. The worst you could tell me was no. So that I've learned.
Live on air.
That's the worst.
It live on air. Yeah.
Hey, it's all right. It'd have been all right.
Yeah.
It'd have been all right.
I definitely had a lot of options there, JT, to say, "No, buddy, you ain't doing that shit."
Yeah, that's when you double back off air, and you're like, "All right, so listen, bro.
Lucky for you, JT, you were welcome anytime, my brother.
I told my wife, if you say yes to me and you want to say no, you say yes, and then tell me no later, because that uppercut from that knee flow gonna be rough. All right, don't tell me no when I'm done. But no, guys,
don't worry, JT. I'm not gonna tell you no later either, buddy. You come on, we'll do some degenerate minute.
We're gonna do it, baby, and I'd love to have see Smoke's reaction to some of it too, man. Because that man, the other day when we did the post game show, that man.
So y'all did the post game with Smoke, right?
Yeah, he was live, dog. Him.
I'm glad y'all got to do a show with Smoke. You get to see the real side of him.
Yeah. Him, Marv, and Herb was on too, and then we're like 30 minutes in, and Herb, "Hey, y'all, we're still on the same first topic." Can we move the topic? It was that was a good show. That was a frustrating one though, right after we lost. But real quick, guys, before we get everything going, we got a little bit off subject here, but the next game's coming up. We got some big games coming up, guys. He said JT and Smoke trolling Daniel. Nah, bro, ain't trolling Daniel. So the big game Saturday night, Texas A&M, 7 p.m. Taylor is their best player. They have Wade Taylor, number 4 for Texas A&M, averaging 15 points a game. Free throw shooting 90%. The man's automatic if he gets fouled, so you don't really want to foul him, put him on the line. Mark Sears, 18 points a game right now. Bama's rebounding where Nelson leads us at 8.7, and then you got Washington at 6 for them, assists. Mark Sears at 4, and guess at Wade Taylor at 4. So we match up. When you look at the initial stats, this game matches up. We got Alabama. Or it says A&M and Ole Miss. I don't know why I just read Ole Miss at the bottom. That took me off a little bit. But the A&M one to match up, is going to be Pettey talked about it. It's going to be a tough one, I think, honestly, here. I think Bama's going to have to be ready to play Saturday night. We'll go ahead and do the A&M, then we'll come back to Ole Miss. So, Pettey, hit the A&M for us real quick. How are we feeling about that one, brother?
Well, man, even with, they went on the road after the SEC really didn't look good on the road. We just talked about Tennessee, but the next night you turn the page and the road teams look good. Alabama goes up, waxes South Carolina. Ole Miss gets a big road win at Arkansas, but then Texas A&M without their star player, Taylor, goes to Oklahoma, was down 9 at the half, but then came back and won. This A&M team under Buzz, they're a good team, man. Like, I feel like this is a nastier matchup for Bama than Ole Miss is just because of the way they play. But if Bama's scoring again, and in Taylor, if Taylor's not playing, Oklahoma's one thing, Bama's a different monster. If Taylor's not playing, Bama's scoring at all, I don't think A&M can keep up in this game. But I do think they're a little bit more of a matchup problem for Bama than Ole Miss will be next Tuesday. And I know we'll get to that one next.
Okay. All right, Herb, this one for us,
yeah. A&M getting a game.
Top 10 matchup too, by the way.
Yep. A&M getting a game under their belt without Taylor actually kind of works in their favor, just so they know what to expect. But they're a defensive team. The Oklahoma game, one of their anomalies. I think they've only given up 80 points like twice. The last 6 or 7 games right before this, the most they gave up was 67. So they're going to get in here. They're going to play some defense. Kind of what Pettey just said, though, if we're scoring, we can handle this game whether Taylor's out there or not. A&M is not a team that you expect to run away from you, and that's kind of what you're scared of, when you're playing these road games, if they hit you in the mouth first. I just don't think A&M is going to do that. So even if we start slow, I like our chances in this game.
I agree, too. I think I like our chances in this one. I like our chances even more if Wade don't play. I don't think they'll struggle to find a way to score consistently which would lead there. If Wade does play,
Yeah.
he's going to be probably an assist machine, I would feel like, in this game because he's probably not going to be 100%. But we'll see how that goes. Either way, Bama shows up. I think Bama can win this one. This one right here, we're on the road as well. We're going to Aggie land, so that'll be a good little tough road test for us too right there. That one, man, I'm iffy on that one too. That one's going to be that's going to be a good Saturday night game. I'm going to just say that. It's going to be a good Saturday night game. We're going to kick it over to Ole Miss though. Pettey, you alluded to this one about not a good matchup in Bama's favor. Not a good matchup for Ole Miss though. Playing Bama. Break that down for me real quick, man. What was saying?
Well, because you get you're getting A&M on the road, you're getting Ole Miss at home, but the difference is Ole Miss is almost like a lighter version of what you just said about A&M. Herb. Ole Miss very much relying on defense. They don't allow teams to get in the 70s very often.
Right.
But the difference is, and it's very weird, Ole Miss struggles on the glass, definitely, and especially on the defensive boards. And that's where A&M, I feel like when I say A&M's a tougher matchup, A&M's better on the glass than Ole Miss. They're a little more physical in the paint. Ole Miss is very bad on second half chances, and that's where it's a matchup nightmare against Alabama because Alabama is such a volume shooting team. If they're getting second chances they're going to make those. It's a matter of numbers. So for Ole Miss, if they're just getting hammered on the boards, you're giving a team like Alabama who's going to score anyway that much more opportunity. It's just a really bad matchup. However, on the flip side, Ole Miss does play a good brand of defense. They're led by a transfer and Padula at point guard who's done real well for them.
Mm-hmm.
But on the flip side, Juju Murray has learned to play a role. He had to play point last year because they didn't have a true point. And now he's kind of learned to play that off guard. And Matthew Morrell and Jamin Brakefield have been there for like 20 years. So there's some experience. It's one of those ball clubs that they're good because they're not the most talented, but they play well together. They play discipline and they play a good brand of defense. But like that said, that works. You can go take care of an Arkansas team that is kind of sloppy or get Georgia at home, who's a really good team, but you got them at home. But it doesn't really serve well when you're going on the road to a place like Coleman and a team that can score like Bama. And again, it all goes back to the boards. If Bama kills them on the boards, which is Ole Miss is losing about every game, it could get ugly real quick for the Rebels.
Yeah, because if you look at the two things you talked to there, points against, Ole Miss is allowing 64 points average right now. They're allowing teams. So that's what you said, under 70 mainly. And then if you look at our rebounds versus theirs, they're rebounding 35 a game. We are rebounding 44 a game, almost 45. So yeah, they're getting out rebounded. They're getting out rebounded pretty bad, especially when we look at that. So second half or second chance points will be big. Herb, real quick, what we thinking about this Ole Miss matchup? They're top 25 team though, 13-2. So but like Pettey said, they're just a very fundamentally sound, but also unique because they play together, a lot of chemistry. That's hard to beat. How are you feeling about that, Herb?
He hit on the best points already. So the last thing I'll kind of leave with is they do play decent defense, but the offense is just not there, and they're just not going to be able to keep up with us. 13th in the SEC, 91st in the country. Offense, I
didn't know that.
And and coming to Alabama, they're just not going to be able to.
It's too average.
Yeah, yep. And that's kind of what I looked at. I was like,
too.
this is good. The ranking's good for you, but that's just these are one of those. You don't want to overlook anybody, but this is not a game that Alabama should lose, especially at home. I'd like us going to Ole Miss, but at home, you just got to take care of business. This is like nothing fancy. Game I'd love to see some more young blood minutes in where you can afford to, kind of get his feet wet again. But yeah, there's nothing that really just kind of scares me with Ole Miss.
I'd be shocked if they kept it within 20.
Yeah. Well,
and I'm about with you, Pettey. I'm about with you. Yeah, I'm about with that. And real quick, guys, just to jump a little bit ahead. Saturday on the 18th of this month, 11 a.m., Alabama versus Kentucky. We go to Lexington, number 5 versus number 6 right now. If it still holds weight as 5 versus 6, I think it might be more like 3 versus 5 or 3 versus 4 by then, depending on who wins, loses. But either way, it's going to be a heavyweight matchup. 11 a.m. game, too. So it's a bright and early one, I guess you would say, in terms of playing-wise anyways. So that's going to be a good one too. We'll talk about that in the next coming weeks, but I'm going to put that one in your ear real quick, just pin that right there. But Alabama, Kentucky is going to be a good one. That's on ESPN. That's actually really good. Luckily, I'm seeing that we have Vanderbilt in here too, but they're coming to us because everybody knows when you play at Vanderbilt how
That
weird
weird
it is
ass,
there
Yeah.
because
the
that weird
benches
ass
under the
gym.
goalpost.
We talked
Like the
about this
gym is
game.
like here, and the stadium
Yep.
is like a football field away. Like it's a
Yep.
football field away. Like you can you have to have binoculars sitting courtside. It's so far away. Like
Well, and the
I don't know,
coaches
it's
are under
weird.
the goal, so you can only coach if
Yeah.
you're for one half. Like when your team's on the other side, you're not coaching for a half. It's so different.
Yeah. Remember, we
It
talked
is.
about this
It
at the
is.
beginning of the
It
year.
is.
This was our Georgia Vanderbilt. This was our Kentucky Vanderbilt. So
yeah,
that's going to be an interesting two-gamer.
It is going to be an interesting gamer, and I think this too. And I'm just glad that we don't go to them though because of their. I don't like their. It's so weird shooting in that stadium too. Bama's never played good. Nobody really played good there.
Sight lines are weird.
Like you barely get a win there. Like you just go up there and pray to get one and leave.
Well, you talked about the fans being so far off. It has the sight lines like when you play these goofy NCAA tournament games in one of these big domes, and all of a sudden your 90-point scoring team scores 60 because everything looks weird. Same thing at Vanderbilt.
That's exactly what it is. It's just everything looks weird for the shooters because everything isn't like it. And people can say what they want. I play basketball that too, and yeah, that is so true. It does matter. It does matter. It does matter. It does matter. So many times it does matter. Sports in general, not just basketball. So I'm going to just sports in general. There's a percentage of it. It's a head game. There's a part of, not all of it, but part of these is all in your head. Some of it, like I don't know if y'all saw Damian Harris, what he said about Andy Papanachos or however you say his name, about the kick he missed. That he missed in the game, the 34-yarder or whatever, 27-yarder, and he came up to him, put his arm around him. He was like, you got this, man. You're gonna win a natty for us. And then it didn't work out. So I think sometimes it's like, it's how you say it, stuff too. So yeah, but man, gonna be some good games, guys. Gonna be some good games coming up. Alabama SEC play this year in basketball. It's gonna be great. We got LSU this month. We got Mississippi State and Georgia as well this month. So a lot of good games, guys. Real quick before we end the show tonight, though, let the beautiful people know where they can find you at, what shows you got going on, how you been doing the A-Town Stomp. Tell them about how you got.
Hey, I'm not JT. I don't discriminate. So ugly people, you can also come and see us as well. We're at,
my God.
@Raj_Herb. You can find all our content there streaming, or check us out, the Herb and Raj podcast. And we're live every Tuesday night as well. You can come check us out there too.
Check it out. Appreciate for the show, man. Roll Tide, Uncle Pisman. Okay, yes, sir. Thank you for the comment. Thank you for staying around for the show too, brother, man. Appreciate your support.
Yeah,
Daniel Pettey, man. Let the beautiful people know. Yeah, dog. He's awesome. He's in here all the time, man. Let the beautiful people know where you're from, Pettey, man. Or not where you're from, where you at, where they can find you at. Well, where you from too, man. They might want to know that too.
I'm from all over. I'm from Mississippi originally, but I'm down in Tampa these days. Got my Bucks in the playoffs coming up. We got the Washington Redskins Commanders. Pumped about that. Herb Jarrett got that. He caught my little side spark. But man, you can catch me on Twitter X at Pettey_Daniel. I'm all over this here network. I'm on Monday nights with my man Smoke, the opening kick, and apparently JT's just lets himself in whenever he wants to. So
whenever he
look
wants.
for him just to show up when he decides to grace us with his beautiful presence. No, it's dead serious. Invitations open, my brother. Ready to have you back on it. Love rapping with you, my man. And then on Tuesday nights, I'm at the Final Whistle at 8 Central. Good Lord. Never know what that crew's coming with, but it's my man, Matt Cadell, number 11 on the field, number 11 in your hearts, 32, Chris James, his big brother, Dan James, the star of this here place, Lushan, Ty. We're always cutting it up. Come check us out. Tuesday nights, Final Whistle, 8 Central. And then here on Thursday nights, man, if y'all haven't paid attention, football's in, then basketball's heating up. And SEC basketball, if you're not here for it this year, we're about to experience probably the best year, most competitive year. No, it's not the best, most competitive year of SEC basketball in our lifetime. So
I agree.
Come here, be with us, man. We're here to talk about it. It's going to be fun.
I agree 100%. This is going to be probably the best season, definitely, of probably anybody's lifetime for SEC basketball right now. I mean, we don't know how the future is going to be, but as of to date, this is probably going to be the year. Also, cross your fingers, this year an SEC team, I mean, we could be looking at an Elite Eight and have I wouldn't be shocked with 5 SEC teams slinging in there, 4, 3, something like around that line. But there are going to be a lot of SEC teams crumbling.
We grew up with North Carolina and Duke being both 1 seeds, and then Kansas or whatever. We could see Bama and Auburn as 1 seeds across from each other this year, and I would not be shocked.
And don't be shocked, and don't hold your cookie yet on stuff. But we talked about A&M already. We talked about them being a good matchup against us. Taylor gets healthy and gets his team rolling. A&M, I ain't saying that'll be a 1 seed, but that could be a solid 2 or 3 seed depending on how things roll in this. And Florida, State at 14 is sneaky. They're sneaky too. There's just so many teams, and we hadn't talked about Tennessee just having a hiccup game.
Tennessee,
they're good.
They went on the road and beat Vanderbilt like a drum. I mean,
I'm just saying, yeah, you got to Tennessee. Obviously, you got it. That game's got to hold weight to a degree, but you can have a hiccup game, especially in basketball. That's so quick to have just an off night where it's like, yeah, we just didn't score that night. Don't know what it was, man.
I've heard the magic number in the SEC is 7 wins. That's 7 and 11. That means you can go 7 and 11 and get to the dance this year. That's insane.
Yep.
That is
make
wild.
a couple of those 7 count, and you're good.
Yeah, I was just about to say, depending on how those 7 count, Ryan, who you beat a Kentucky, Tennessee, Auburn, Bama, good argument. Yeah, good arguments. So, guys, check me out on I am Jay Glaze on all social media, guys. Things been going good. I'm about to work up some basketball edits for you guys. Check us out on Sunday night, talking Bama. We got some great things going on with Alabama football. Myself, JB, and Stephen M. Smith on there, guys. We got a great show coming up this Sunday night, talking about the transfer portal. Got some, we talked about it a little bit last week. We're going to talk about how it's closing, but we're also going to talk about how you can go into the transfer portal and have a do not contact tag. How does that work? So I thought you went into the transfer portal to get contacted. How do you go into it without a contact? So what does that tell me? What is that?
Somebody called you early.
Connect the dots, baby. Connect the dots. No,
I don't know why we even call it the I mean, it's the tamper portal.
It's the tampering portal. Yeah, it's the tampering portal. And just like
you telling me these kids getting the yeah.
Well,
you telling me these kids getting the portal and 10 minutes later have 5 visits set up? No, that ain't how it works.
Right.
I agree. And then Oregon had called like 2 Boise State players. The coach talked about offering them $700K. And he was like, dude, we're getting outbidded. He's like, there's nothing we can do. And I was like, Nick Saban said this already. He said the rich will get richer. And it will make those Boise States, Troy, even like Troy Sunbelt teams.
Louisiana,
Coastal Carolina. Coastal Carolina. And Coastal Carolina, that's what I was thinking of. God, they've been decent recent years. They were, they had a good little run. So, it is what it is, guys. Thank you guys for sticking around for the show. Do we have any questions real quick? I think
we kind of addressed them as we went.
But we hit that, yeah.
Yeah, we hit them.
Guys, thank you guys.
We got them.
Thank you guys for joining us, man. You guys are awesome. Won't give a piss about nothing but the time. Make sure you come join us back on all the shows. We'll see you guys.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide, baby.